HII delivers the most powerful naval ships ever built. That same innovation and dedication is applied to executing missions in complex and contested environments. We are leading the next evolution of national defense, the data evolution. That means anticipating emerging threats with C5ISR capabilities that enable a deep understanding of the environment across a wide range of assets. And with AI and big data platform capabilities that support threat analysis and cyber operations at an unprecedented data scale. Preparing warfighters for virtually every conceivable situation they may face with live, virtual, constructive synthetic training environments critical to the all-domain order of battle. Making vast expanses of the Earth accessible for defense, research, and commerce, on land, under the seas, in the air, and in space. With world-leading autonomy and the largest family of UUVs in every class, making transoceanic missions possible. Ensuring the world's most capable and resilient platforms are always at the ready, on the sea, under the sea, and ashore. Maintaining a safe, secure, and effective strategic weapons stockpile and executing complex environmental remediation through a legacy of disciplined nuclear operations supporting the Department of Energy's mission priorities. We do all of this with a talented, diverse, and innovative team that is driven to solve our customers' most complex challenges. HII, solving our nation's critical security needs by delivering the hard stuff done right, around the globe.
Well, hello everyone. John Young here, Talent Acquisition Manager with Mission Technologies, and you are on the 5th episode of the year for Finding Your Purpose with HII. We're glad to have you here, and we're excited about our next topic. We are live right now on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube, and you are in the right place. So I want to give you a few ground rules before we get started. I want to encourage you. I want to challenge you. Like, share, comment, subscribe, follow us on whatever platform that you're viewing this video on. Now, with that said, I want to tell you that we have an exciting topic today. We're dealing with fleet sustainment, and I am excited because we don't just have a typical panel for you today. Today's panel is made up of what I consider the Mount Rushmore of vice presidents for fleet sustainment. Yes, these are the VPs that know everything about fleet sustainment. Now, I will tell you that fleet sustainment is one of the largest, I shouldn't say one of, it is the largest group in our company. And we have a friendly competition. I happen to be in LVC, and we compete against each other in an event we call March Mania. And we took second place, and I have to reluctantly admit that fleet sustainment, along with these VPs, beat our group. And so I am reluctant to try to do a good job today, but we are going to highlight this team, not just because they beat us, but because they are awesome. Now, in this panel, we have Vincent Janowick, and we have Sabrina Bailey. Now, I've learned a little bit about them behind the scenes, and from what I understand, Vincent is a hunter and Sabrina is a gardener. So one kills and one grows stuff. So they have some very interesting hobbies. So we're going to have them introduce themselves, and we're going to start with you, Sabrina. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, everybody. I am thrilled to be here. And sorry about that March Mania thing there, John. But anyway, I've been with the company for over 29 years. In fact, my entire career has been with this company. I started right out of college. I graduated from Old Dominion University, not too far away. Started out at Newport News Shipbuilding as a mechanical engineer. So why have I been here so long, you might ask? It's the mission and the people, right? I love what I do. I love the fact that every day I know what we do is important. We are mission focused. We are purposeful in what we do. And I love that. On a personal note, you already know that I love gardening. I love watching things grow. And I've loved watching this organization grow over this entire time that I've been here. And I'm really thankful to have been a part of that. So that's a little bit about me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I will say, I'm curious to know something about you, Vincent, because inquiring minds want to know. In addition to being a hunter, I understand that you are a Navy veteran, and I'm curious to know, do you still wear bell bottoms?
I do not. I do not wear bell bottoms.
Okay.
However, I still have a pair of bell bottoms at home that I do occasionally break out just to look at, to reminisce a little bit with. Bell bottoms have gone away for a very, very long time. So like John said, Vincent Janowick, Vice President of Operations for Platform Maintenance. Since John brought up the fact that we are the Mount Rushmore of Vice Presidents, I'm personally going to claim Abraham Lincoln because he's my favorite of the four, and I served for 3 years on the USS Abraham Lincoln. So if I'm going to be part of Mount Rushmore, it's Abraham Lincoln for me. So I've been with the company for almost 6 years now, and that was after being a 38-year Navy veteran. I'll tell you, the main focus of my entire career has been engineering and maintenance on aircraft carriers, surface ships, and submarines across the board from my very first tour in the Navy up until now. And so I love the fact that Sabrina mentioned what brought her is the mission and the people. That's really what made my mind up to come to work for HII, Mission Technologies. I had some other offers, but it was the mission and the people that really brought me into the company, and I haven't regretted it for a minute. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Well, I want the listening audience to know that neither one of them mentioned me as an asset to this company and why they so excited about me. I won't belabor that point. Probably because I wasn't here when they got here. That's the only reason they didn't mention me. But that said, we're going to get to some HII news, because speaking of people who are assets to the company, we have in our company a gentleman by the name of Ricardo Munoz. We call him Rico, but he is a winner. He won the Military Friendly's 2024 Veteran Champion of the Year in corporate America. Yes, so shout out to Rico Munoz. We are proud to have you as a part of our team, and you are one of the reasons that our company is got to be one of the best in the world. And I have to force myself to say one of, because there's got to be a company that's the best in the world. Why not us? I think it's us. All right. Now, that said, we're going to transition and talk a little bit more about fleet sustainment. We're going to jump into the main content of what we're doing. And I'm going to start with you, Vincent. Can you explain to our audience exactly what is fleet sustainment?
Yeah, I would be happy to, John. Let me start with maybe the reason we didn't mention you as an asset has something to do with March Mania. You know, the fact that we won it, you didn't, I don't know, maybe. We'll see. Hey, but Fleet Sustainment is an amazing, amazing organization, and I'm so happy to be part of it. I'll tell you, I contrasted a little bit with our other divisions in HII. We have Newport News Shipbuilding. They build aircraft carriers, they build submarines. Ingalls Shipbuilding builds destroyers, and they build big deck amphibs. And so what's the difference? In Mission Technologies, we don't build anything other than components and systems and maintain and modernize the fleet. So it's while throughout Mission Technologies, there's a lot of other things going on inside of Fleet Sustainment. That's exactly what we do, is we sustain the fleet. We do that through maintenance. We do that through modernization. And while Sabrina's folks aren't working directly on the ships, they're doing design work and planning work and QA work. And so everybody in Fleet Sustainment is really focused on maintaining the fleet that we have for the future. You hear a lot about shipbuilding and the total number of ships that we need to get to in the Navy, but a big part of that total number of ships are the ships that we have right now. And maintaining the ships that we have right now to be able to stay in the fight and continue the fight is probably more important in my mind than the shipbuilding aspect itself, because we have to be able to keep those ships operating safely. We have to be able to keep sailors trained, and we need to be able to keep them in the fight. So I'll say that's the biggest difference between fleet sustainment and our other divisions in HII. John?
Well, that's very insightful, Vincent, and thank you for that. And that kind of brings me to you, Sabrina, because when I think about it, Fleet Sustainment and our sister division, the Newport News Shipyard, they sound very similar from the outside looking in. A lot of people don't really know that HII has these different business units. We have Ingalls Shipbuilding, we have the Newport News Shipyard and Mission Technologies, along with our corporate. But with that said, I'd like to ask you specifically, Sabrina, what's the difference between the two from your perspective?
You know, Vincent did a great job with some of that, answering some of that in his discussion. So again, Newport News Shipbuilding primarily focused on building, overhauls, submarine, aircraft carriers. So for us, we are sort of the sustainment piece of it, to use that word again, right? From the initial design, my team will come in and help make decisions that will elongate the service life of the platform, that will help us to make good cost savings decisions downstream. It's not just the building of the platform, it is the maintaining of it throughout its 50 or so year life cycle. And so just as Vincent said, that's sort of the differences between our organizations. We have some of the same workforce as Newport News Shipbuilding, but our focus is looking at that entire life cycle, the sustainment of whatever platform. As Vincent also said, a lot of my people provide support to Newport News Shipbuilding. So we are that logistics arm of that organization. So what they build, we'll do the training for, the technical documentation, the engineering design, the acquisition logistics, all, as I stated, to make sure that we are making right decisions upfront whenever we build or maintain a platform.
All right. Well, that once again was very insightful. And I'm not surprised because I've got two vice presidents on the call with me here. And so I'm expecting to pick your brain, and our listening audience is going to learn a lot by the time this call is over. I want to challenge those of you who are listening to like, share, subscribe, and follow us. Also, I want to make sure that you know, if you get excited about some of the things that you hear and you want to be a part of this company, I've got a shortcut for you. All you have to do, if you're driving, you pull over. And after you pull over, you're going to text the words HII to the number 89743. 89743. And that's going to give you a shortcut. And as an Air Force veteran, I like shortcuts. What do you think about that? Now, aim high. So here we go. This is what I'm curious about next, Vincent. Skilled trades. We talked a lot about skilled trades. And one of the things that I've noticed in recruiting is that skilled trades have been on a decline for years. And recently, some companies have started offering equivalencies in lieu of education. But you know what? Mission Technologies, we're not new to this at all. We've been doing this for our roles for a long time. So why is it important in acquiring talent to consider doing equivalencies in lieu of education?
Yes, that's a great question, John. You know, not only has the skilled trade pool declined over the years, but we're also in a very heavy industrial area. And so we've got a lot of competition for those jobs. There's plenty of other companies out there looking for the same skilled trades that we are. And they're critical skills that are just hard to find because of that. But the equivalencies are important because while we might require a certain number of years of experience, if you can bring to the table the fact that you're a project management professional and you've got that certification, or you have advanced welding certifications already that you only have to prove, or any other kind of certificate program from a college, we can take all of that and say, well, they may not have 10 years of experience, but they do have this. And it means a lot, and it brings a lot to the table, not only from a skilled trade perspective, but from the diversity across the board. It opens up the gene pool, if you will, to a much wider number of people that we'll be able to choose from. And a lot of times, you find the perfect person in that wider aperture. And so bringing those people into skilled trades with less experience but key certifications, it's nothing but a benefit for the company. We recognized that a long time ago. We've been, as you said, John, we've been doing it for a long time, and we recognize the value that brings to the table. It's important.
That's
John?
awesome. Thank you so much, Vincent. And going over to you, Sabrina, as you probably have noted, I get excited about winning stuff, or even getting close to winning stuff. But HII is recognized by Forbes as a top employer for work in the 2024 work-life balance is a priority in enhancing employee morale, right? And I'm assuming that we didn't win the top employer for work in 2024 because I work here alone. I know I had something to do with it, but they didn't just do it only because I work here, right, Sabrina? So what I'm wanting to know is, how has Fleet Sustainment prioritized it in such a way that's been the effects across the organization with the work-life balance and contributing to us being a top employer in 2024 to work for?
Hey, John, I want to say right up front, you probably were a very big part of that. So don't underestimate that. But, you know, in all seriousness, we understand that work-life balance is critical for employee satisfaction, which is critical for productivity, right? I said often that what we did by necessity during the pandemic, we do by choice now. So we learned a lot, as everyone did during that time. So we learned how to, because we had to work remotely, how to make that work, how to connect with a remote workforce, how to change our processes to make sure we keep that remote workforce engaged and keep our quality and our products still moving without, missing a beat. So again, we know that it's critical. And as a result, we have, less attrition. We retain our employees longer. Our employees are more satisfied. Our employees are happier and do a better job, which leads to more productivity, as I said, and happier customers. So it all sort of fits in together, and it kind of all makes sense in our culture at this organization.
Well, I want to stick with you for a second along those lines, because, you speak about our organization and how to navigate through, and you've been doing this for a long time. You mentioned that you've been with the company for 29 years. Did I get that right? 29 years. Over 29 years. So you started when you were like 4 years old, I'm assuming. And
yeah,
so
they had a junior program, kindergarten program for that. So,
That's it. Now, but it's one thing to start with the company and go into the Mount Rushmore stratosphere where you are now, right? But you did that as a woman. And one of the things that I believe that does is that inspires a lot of women across the country to take a look at positions in the trades and understand that they can do it too. So why should women and other diverse categories, for that matter, consider Sustainment's career opportunities?
Well, I'll tell you, you said it, the work-life balance. Oftentimes that's a challenge. That's a challenge for men and women, but more so for women. And I speak of my own career, trying to navigate, raising a family, working full-time, all the other responsibilities. This is an organization where we understand that. We will be as flexible as we can with our workforce. And so this is a place that really values diversity and inclusiveness, and a place where you can come and feel welcome. And you don't have to, I started in, male-dominated career from the very beginning, and have seen how things have evolved and improved over time. And I'm really proud of that fact of that work-life balance focus, which isn't something that was always there during my career tenure. And that change, that focus, having that awareness, having the ERGs, the employee resource groups that we have in place in our organization, all builds into that type of environment of inclusivity, of learning, of networking, of feeling a part of. And I think that's critical for everyone, but particularly for women in a male-dominated work culture.
That's awesome. I can feel my brain growing talking to these vice presidents here. This has been exciting. And so with that said, I want to ask you something, Vincent, because being a Navy veteran, you used to being in the middle of the ocean and looking around and seeing no land and having to navigate your way through some things using a navigation system. So with that said, coming to a new company can be challenging. So what is our navigation program and how does it assist new employees?
Yeah, that's great. And it's a great analogy too, John, because that's exactly what we use when we're out there in the middle of the ocean and we can't see anything. Even Air Force people, they're not seeable. So listen, we as a leadership group, we have recognized that the onboarding process can be the key to success for any new hire. It doesn't matter what company you're going to. So we established this new hire navigator program where you're assigned a specific navigator. It may or may not be your supervisor. In a lot of cases, it's not your supervisor, but it's somebody else that can help you through all of the things that you need to get through to really get settled into the company, to answer questions that may not be directly answered by your supervisor because he's so focused on other things. And it could be something as simple as, who do I go to change this benefit or to elect this benefit? Who do I go to if I have a question about my time card? Hey, I need to go over to corporate. Can you help me figure out where that's at and who do I check in with when I get there? And just about any question that might come up for a new employee in the first 30 days, your navigator is going to be able to answer that. And we assign every single new employee a navigator, and they meet that navigator on their very first day of employment. And so while they're meeting that navigator is already loading them up with information that they need to make sure they know where to go, when to be there, what kind of PPE requirements are there that are required for them to be there, tools, special tools. That navigator is covering just about everything that new employee needs to know. And we, like I said, our leadership team recognized that that's key to success for any new hire. John?
Well, that's exciting. And I will tell you that, when I listen to this, I want our listening audience to understand that you're talking to leadership that is involved in leading over 23% of this great company. So they have a lot of responsibility. And so with that said, I know that many of you that are listening to this are trying to figure out, so what do they have available now? This company has a lot going on right now that you could tap into. And so we're going to talk a little bit about career opportunities. But before I pick their brains again, and I'm going to go back to you on this one, Vincent, to talk about career opportunities, I want to remind you of this shortcut. It's 89743. If you just text the letters HII to the number 89743, then it's going to magically happen where a shortcut pops up on your phone. And again, I want to remind you, if you're driving, don't do that now. Please, not now. Just pull over and then do it. But text HII to the number 89743. Also, regardless of what platform you are listening to us on, I want you to like it. I want you to share it. I want you to subscribe. We want to meet a lot of people out there that have aspirations about connecting with a company like ours. Because as far as I'm concerned, it just can't get any better. Some company has to be the best. I'm thinking it's us. I'm a little biased because I work here. But that said, Vincent, you have what, 1-2 positions available right now?
One or two. It depends on your qualifications. Actually, we have over 100 positions available right now. Those are ready to fill positions, ready to start. If we counted all of our contingent hires, which means we're waiting for a contract acquisition, over 217. So a tremendous amount of opportunity right now within Fleet Sustainment. And I know Sabrina's going to chime in and talk a little bit about her area and career opportunities, but I want to focus on what's most exciting to me, and that's our two biggest contracts in my area. One of them is the Carrier Engineering Maintenance Assist Team, the CMAT program. So a very, very large program. That is the majority of my employees inside of platform maintenance. more than 400 employees just on that contract alone. And so what they're doing is engineering and maintenance on all of the aircraft carriers all over the world. It doesn't matter if they're in Japan, Bremerton, San Diego, locally. We have a lot of people working on carriers. Surface ships, we do a lot of surface ship maintenance on the West Coast, trying to expand that to the East Coast, but certainly on the West Coast, a lot of what they do is the same thing that we do on aircraft carriers. It's just focused on surface ships. And then we also do a little bit of Army work. We have some folks in Fort Eustis working on some Army watercraft. It's a little bit smaller portfolio, but nonetheless, we even have requisitions that are open there as I speak. And then, the last thing that I wanted to talk about is really our apprenticeship program is another draw to the company. We have our own apprenticeship program completely separate from Newport News. And it really focuses on marine engineering, marine electrical, marine welding, and getting young folks that are interested in those trades into the company, get into that program. You learn a skilled trade if you don't already have one. You get an education at the same time, and everybody benefits from that program. We have a lot of interest in it. We have a lot of folks in it right now, and I think that it's a pretty strong draw to the company. Sabrina, anything to add on IPS?
Yeah, while, skilled trades are critical to our organization, no doubt there, but we hire across the gambit, spec writers, trainers, engineers, designers, IT professionals, because all of those are needed to develop the products that we provide to support our nation's defense. But one other thing I want to add is the fact that many of our employees, I would say over 35% of the employees in my organization are prior military. Prior military finds really this a great place to be. Why? Because we are mission focused, and it feels like a continuation of that same mission that they had while they were in the military, and they find a great home here in our organization. So, to put it succinctly, we are hiring. So if you have an interest in being in an organization such as ours, run, don't walk. Please apply and be a part of this great team. It's a place where I've just thrived here for almost 30 years, and I know the same thing can happen for you as well. Over to you, John.
All right. Well, I will tell both of you, Vincent and Sabrina, you both have some fans that are listening in. There's a young lady by the name of Melissa Singleton that wants Sabrina to know that she is amazing. Yes, Melissa wants you to know that you're amazing. And I also want you to know, Vincent, that she thinks you're doing a great job. Now, I'm competitive, and so great, amazing. I'll let the two of you vice presidents fight over that in the stratosphere somewhere in your level. But there are people that are excited about working for you. And so I just want you all to know that you all are doing a great job. And so please continue to do that, because I need to continue to brag on this company. And so with that said, I want to just kind of tell our listening audience that Fleet Sustainment is a part of a great organization. Mission Technologies as a whole, we are a tremendous company to work for. By and large, I want everyone to know that we right now have over 7,000 employees. We are in 11 different countries, and we have 40 locations. There's over 600 job openings total right now. If you take that shortcut I gave you, again, 89743, just text the letters HII to that number, you'll get a shortcut so that you can see all the things that we've got available, because I'm sure just listening to Vincent and Sabrina made you want to be a part of this company even more. We are growing. We have an increase in revenue at over 20% just the first quarter of the year. So we are doing well. The growth and the number prove that we are a company that is on the move. And Sabrina knows a little bit about growing stuff. So Sabrina, Vincent, I want to thank the two of you for being a part of this panel. We're excited to have heard and learned all of the wonderful things that you have to say. And to our listening audience, I want to say this. I want to challenge you to Do everything in your power to put yourself in position to figure out how to connect with us, because like a rocket ship, we're taking off. Mission Technologies is the greatest company in the world. There, I said it and I meant it. Now, for those of you who just started watching this episode and you don't know what's about to happen, I'm holding something that to some people resemble a pen, but it's not a pen. It's actually my microphone. And this is the part of the story where I drop it.